Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Woo! You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. So you know what we are about to do today. All right. I wanted to jump on this topic because I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I'm sure you probably have seen it on the TikTok and the such like that. And I got some things I want to say about it and why this is a sad state of affairs for society, for Black culture, as well as just the youth in general. And you probably have seen this. I'm going to bring it in. And it is the dad that surprises his son, taking him to prom. And this is very unfortunate. I'm going to just play it. And also, I watched it. Shout out to Marshall the Plug for sending this to me. And I looked at it and I wanted some more context, wanted a little bit more background. I need a little bit more understanding. And lo and behold, there actually is more to this story. So I want to go ahead. Let's just play it real quick. If you've seen it or not,
my husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Don't mess up that makeup, grab her. Grab her. Look down, let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let's let him fall on the floor. Let him fall. Let him fall on the floor. Oh, poor baby. Oh. Hold on. Look up. Oh, Mellow's crying. He didn't know his pops was going to be there. He's crying. This is monumental.
Monumental.
I know. Oh. Oh. All right, come on. I need pictures. Excuse me. Ready? Good. I love the candidness. Let him know. Let's go. Okay, moving emotions.
All right. So that is the video and lots of feedback about it. But I wanted to know a little bit more about it. And lo and behold, at the bottom under the picture is the caption. And so the woman that posted this video is, shout out to her. I just want to read it and then I'll give my own commentary. Let me explain this first video. My son has had a rocky relationship with his pops growing up because his pops is Muslim and does not condone his lifestyle. So wearing makeup, feminine hairstyles, nails, and all of that has always been a problem. So on this day, he thought that his pops would not even come outside to see him leave for prom because he has never saw him off for any of his dances in the past. While his pop said, I'm taking his son. His pop says, I'm taking his son to the prom as his chauffeur and I'm going to match his outfit. So Romello was so surprised to see him get out of the truck. But when he saw how he was dressed and it matched what he was wearing, he cried like a baby. And it was a very beautiful moment for him, my husband, and the whole family. To have a supportive dad when you are in this lifestyle is rare and meant everything in the world to my son. Shout out to my husband. I love you. All right. So that is the background of this viral video of the dad taking his son to the prom. And I'm going to say something that I'm sure nobody's going to be terribly surprised by, but I feel sorry for this dad. This dad is playing a role that he was never meant to play. You're never meant to watch your son dressed up like a woman, impersonating a woman. You were never called to do that. And since I'm a dad of daughters, I can only imagine how sad this man feels, that knowing that his son is never going to probably ever give him a grandchild. And for him to capitulate, and if you go back and watch the video, you'll hear there's no other men in this room and in this setting except the son and the dad. There's no others. Everybody else is women, and they're all co-signing this behavior. There's no brothers out there. There's no uncles going with it. And I think that's probably a clear indicator of the problem. And now I do feel bad for this young man because he has nobody there that's going to correct him. He's had nobody there correct him. It seems like his mom and them been dressing mom and aunties and them been dressing him up since the beginning. And dad has no voice in it. I don't know. And I'm trying to understand, is this his biological son or is this a stepson? And the mom is just saying that because she married the man and he maybe adopted or took the son on as his own, that's where I'm kind of confused there. So I don't know if this is his biological child, and that wasn't clear to me. I guess I would just need to know, like, hey, this is his biological dad. If they just said that, I think it'll be very clear and I'd be fine with it. But I feel sorry for this boy because society is not holding him accountable and telling him, no, these behaviors are not appropriate. No, these behaviors are not acceptable, not just in society's eyes, but the dad is supposed to bring the son up in the fear and admonition of the Lord. And he can't do that because he himself is caught in a false religion. And so he's not able to give him any direction, guidance, or instruction that will help him make better decisions. So if you, like, for example, if you just jump to Ephesians, a lot of people like to bring up Ephesians where it says, fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but to bring them up in the fear and the discipline of the Lord. And dad can't do that. This dad is not able to do that because he himself is not in line. Because, this is inappropriate. And to see, and you can kind of glean from this, that the moms and the aunties and the sisters and all of them, they are completely beholden to this. They're totally given over to this. They're just keying, and this is so great and so wonderful. And I'm my baby, this, that, and the third. And dad is just playing along. I mean, maybe mom has hamstrung him. Maybe mom has been beating him up about it, so on and so forth. Because he didn't just go get a purple suit on his own strength. He didn't have a purple suit in the closet. So so dad had some knowledge of what was going on. And sadly, the wife, and again, I'm not 100% certain, is this her biological son? Who are the parents? Who are the key players in this? But back to my point, this dad has let this son down, and he's not able to give him clear guidance and direction on whom he should be. Because at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, we can't tell our children something. As much as you love them, you have to still tell them the truth. And to play along and to feed into their lies, to play along and feed into their delusions doesn't help them. It's not a benefit. It's not a blessing. It's almost a curse to have your dad in the household if your dad is not going to tell you the truth. If your dad is going to allow you to lie to yourself and say that you can dress like this and behave like this and project yourself in this manner, then what was the purpose of even having a dad in the household? You just have a whole house full of aunts because they all kiki-keying. They're complicit in this foolishness too. So what would be the benefit of that happening if you're not going to actually hold your son accountable and give them good, clear guidance in this time that they need? What's the purpose of it? Because otherwise, there's no reason for you to be here. And again, I feel sorry for this dad because he clearly realizes, unless there's something else I'm missing, that his son is not going to give him another son or a grandchild. He's not going to give him any children moving past this. He is going to, unless something happened that I miss, he is going to, it will end with him. And he's got to feel some kind of way about it. Sure, he wants to, project himself. Hey, I'm strong. I'm supporting my son, blah, 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 X, Y, Z. And I can understand that. But we're not called to lie to our children. We're not called to misrepresent who God is for our children's pleasure and likes. I mean, you might as well just let them throw that pitch of fit on the cereal aisle then? What was the purpose of disciplining them? What was the purpose of correcting them if you're going to allow them to live in a delusion and a misguided lie? You're allowing them to live in a lie. And it's almost like, well, what was the purpose of you being here as a father if you're not going to hold your child accountable and give them good, clear guidance that's going to lead them to life? Because at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, this is not life-giving. When the smoke clears, this is not direction and guidance that is long-term and beneficial. I'm gonna click it again. I got a couple little comments I want to make. I'm gonna play through it. It's 90 seconds. I'll just play through it real quick, and then I'll come back through and just give my commentary again on this.
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Don't mess up that makeup, gather. Look down, let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let's let him fall on the floor. Let him fall. Let him fall on the floor. Oh, poor baby. Oh. Hold on. Look up. Oh, Mello's crying. He didn't know his pops was going to be there. He's crying. This is monumental. I know. Oh. All right, come on. I need pictures. Excuse me. Ready? Good. I love the candidness. Let it know. Let's go. Okay. Using emotions.
So again, notice you hear no men in any of this. You didn't hear any men supporting this. I shudder to think that I would have my brothers here when my daughter gets ready to go to prom, and they allow my daughter to. I just can't imagine that. Like my brothers would want to be here just as much as my wife's sisters would want to be here. My sisters, I call them my sisters, as much as my sisters would want to be there. My brothers would want to be there to see my firstborn go to prom. They'll want to be here when my secondborn goes to prom. I just can't imagine none of my brothers being here. But notice this man is by himself. It's just these two men, one dressed up as a woman and the other one supporting him, and the rest is just all women. Kiki Kian. You hear him say monumental. I knew my baby was going to cry, and this, that, and the third. Yeah, this is some wild stuff. So and again, as I said earlier, I feel sorry for this dad. Let me real quick. All right. And I feel sorry for that dad, because I really believe that he's playing a role, whether because of I see the comment. And by the way, shout out to Marshall the Plug. If you look down at the bottom here, and I kind of read over it earlier, the mom, I'm not really clear if this is her child. That's what I'm trying to understand. Let me move myself out of the way. I don't really understand if this is her child or it's his child, and maybe she just took ownership, say, oh, that's my baby, because he's, or vice versa, is her child and he just kind of adopted him. I'm not really 100% certain whose child this is. And real quick, let me just read it real quick as well. So let me explain this first video. My son has had a rocky relationship with his pops growing up because his pops is Muslim and does not condone his lifestyle. So wearing makeup, feminine hairstyles, nails, and all of that has always been a problem. Okay, so just to stop, I just want to know who's the mom, who's the dad, who are the major players, because I feel I'm confused on this. But let's continue. So on this day, he thought that his pops would not even come outside to see him leave for prom because he has never saw him off for any of his other dances in the past. Well, his pops said, I'm taking my son to prom as his chauffeur, and I'm going to match his outfit. Okay, so I'm assuming this is his dad. So I'm just wondering, is this an intact family? Is this a step family? Whatever, but let's continue. Blended family. So Romello was so surprised to see him get out of the truck, but when he saw how he was dressed and it matched what he was wearing, he cried like a baby. And it was a very beautiful moment for him. My husband and the whole family, to have a supportive dad when you are in this lifestyle is a rare and meant everything in the world for my son. Shout out to my husband and such of that nature. I'm going to say that he let his son down. He let him down. There is no guidance. Supporting somebody in a lie makes it no better. None whatsoever. Supporting somebody in confusion, delusion, in their own, in personal hell is not a benefit. And so if he's contributing to this, he's not helping. He's not helping one bit. Not a bit at all. All right, so I appreciate y'all. I just wanted to look at this. Shout out again to Marshall the Plug, sent this to me. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a quick video on this and have a discussion about it. Ezekiel Days. So by the way, thank y'all so much. Ezekiel Days, you're welcome to come on over here. And how about this? Because I appreciate you dropping all this insight and wisdom in the chat. All I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to drop the link right here. Go ahead and hit the link. I would love for you to please just make sure that your camera is on, Ezekiel. And of course, we use no profanity. And we, of course, stay on topic. I would love to correct some of these misnomers that you're typing in the chat. Now, if you're not willing to come on, of course, link down in the description. Right there. Feel free to come on so we can clarify these things, because I don't think I understand where you're coming from. But I want to give you an opportunity to make it clear and help me out, because if I'm missing something, I want to be in the right. So if you're going to help me out, I want that. So go ahead and hit that button, my friend. Now, if you're not going to hit that button, I'm going to also add, then I'm going to ask that you go ahead and depart from the chat or refrain from chatting, because you're not actually adding benefit. And I'm taking time to bring you on Ezekiel Day so that we can hear your insight and wisdom. And again, if you're not going to add to the insight and wisdom, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and refrain from speaking until you want to just jump on. So the link is there for you, Ezekiel Day. Feel free, my friend, feel free to jump on in. There, we'll do that real quick. So jump on in, Ezekiel. And thank you all for hopping in. What do y'all think? Do you think I was a little bit too harsh on this whole topic? Drop it in the chat. Let me see what you said. Wow, his son is wearing a dress. Yeah, that's kind of wild. I love it. Thank you so much. Am I kidding? Samuel Pagan, let me know. In the moment, it may feel right to do this, but I'm nervous for God they have to answer to. Yeah, I agree with Victoria Powell. Thank you so much. Let's see what we got. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the majority of their family was supporting that behavior. I mean, somebody had to buy the dress and put on the makeup and do all that kind of stuff, nails, all that shenanigans. So, yeah, I mean, as far as I can tell, the family was in agreement with it. And as Kofu said, confusion all around. And I hope that I was speaking the truth in love. I don't want to sound like I'm coming off the top rope on the young man, because I don't think that he's been guided. I mean, I feel like he's been abandoned to his own thoughts and machinations. Those things have led him to this place, rather. So hopefully I did that correct. Let me know. I love that you're giving this guy a fair shot and letting him know what's up. Hey, thank you so much, Project Band Shirt. Good to see you. Hadn't seen you in a second. Good to see you. And I don't want it, again, I feel bad because in this world that we're in today, everything leads to adult interaction, if you will. So you can't just have a friend. You can't just be friends with somebody. And sadly, this stuff is pressing down even to the lower and lower to the children, that you can't just have friends. You got to have some kind of romantic relationship with this person. And you can't just say, that's my buddy, that's my friend. It all leads to this. And I think it's because of we, the adults, reprobate minds, that we ourselves are not being truthful. We ourselves are just saying, hey, it's fun that kids have friends. There you go. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to lead to anything else. They're just friends. There you go. And I don't have to second guess them and be like, well, what do you mean? Stop it. But see, we've now, because the perversion in our society has gone to such a fever pitch that literally everything leads to that time. And it's just insane. And I think we as Christians should push back on that and say, nah, we're not going to agree and play along with this shenanigans, because it does lead to kids not having even healthy relationships. Kids can't even have relationships with other kids. And good gracious, man. And you just can't have, I hate what we're doing to children in that regard, because it's like, hey, you can't just have a buddy. You can't just say, hey, that's my best friend. Now it's always leading somewhere that doesn't need to go. And sadly, I feel like this young man right here, his family played a role in that. This young man right here, it looks like his family played a role in that. Rather than call a kibosh on this, they're dressing him up in a dress. And I hate to see, but I would be interested to see. Matter of fact, I just thought about it. She said there was a first video. Oh, wait, here's another video right here. Okay, okay. Let me slow it. Let me mute it, because I don't want the.
Where they smart or whatever.
Oh man. Okay, hold on. All right, there we go. So this is, nobody corrected this guy. Nobody corrected him. They just let him keep behaving like this. Wow. And I just so happened to look at what the first comment that stood out to me. I'm going to pull it up in a second. This comment right here is just, shout out to this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this boy, he's up against a juggernaut at this point. I'm glad you let him wear what he wanted and express himself and be comfortable. That's the problem. That is the problem in 4K. This by far is the best dress I've seen in a while. Very good, young man, and your daddy made you look even cuter. He really ate those pictures up. And notice these are all women that are commenting on this. I know God is crying, and that's probably more true than you realize. Like, it's all women that are commenting. I just realized this. It is all women that are kikiing. All right, this looks like a guy. I like that it still have masculine vibes to it, as well as being elegant at the same time. Okay. Yeah, this is sad. Because not one person in here is saying this is inappropriate. And so how is this young man supposed to overcome this when literally the whole community is kiki-keying, co-signing, high-fiving this? Wow. Yes, he slayed it. Slay, baby. Absolutely gorgeous. How is he supposed to overcome this when the entire community? He looks stunning. Wow. Wow. I saw one guy, but the rest looks like all women. Official Keith. He has the most amazing parents. You all are the best I've ever seen. I love you all so much for that. Not one person that I've seen on here. Wow. Like what could we expect for this poor guy when not one person is going to actually say, hey man, that's not appropriate. But I mean, I'm sure that they've missed key opportunities. This is like the boss level of inappropriateness, right? They've had opportunities to set him straight. They had opportunities to correct him and say, we don't behave like that. We don't behave like that. But wow. Parents need to be parents, not friends. I agree so much. All right. Is there a happy medium between not supporting his lifestyle and being a present parent? It's clear, at least from the caption, that his father never supported his lifestyle. I agree. It's a dicey topic, but I don't think that, in my opinion, what the dad did is not correctively supporting your child. I don't want you to go out there and do them harm or anything of that nature. But on the same note, you don't have to be complicit in their misbehavior. I don't think that needs to happen at all. So by God's grace, I'll never have to worry about that aspect of it. But I think, let me find it, because I feel like TikTok is such a weird thing, man. TikTok is crazy. Because it moved. Okay, back here. Found it. All right, let me pull it back in. All right. I'm sure there's some kind of gentle balance, but one of the things I don't want to do is be complicit and lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh no, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Because if we put this in any other context, we would not agree. Hold on, what happened? If we put this in any other context, we would not agree to it. We wouldn't say, oh, it's perfectly fine that you want to rob banks. It's perfectly fine that you want to do this, that, and the third. Any other sin seems like we would be quick to give it the corrective guidance. I have no idea what's up with this. It won't allow me to zoom in anymore. Okay. I'm just going to leave it pause. There you go. Stop it. All right. So I don't know what the balance is. But you know what I wouldn't do? I would not go and be complicit in the lie. So I would not be coming to your prom dressed up. No, I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do it. And it's clear that they knew that he wouldn't support him because he has not been supporting him. So why now? What does doing it now do? Whatever your moral stance was, you've actually reduced the veracity of it by doing this. So I don't know how, I don't know what does going to his prom prove? What does that prove? That you support him, but you can support him. You can just say, like, hey, I don't support your lifestyle, but I want you. And you don't have to go on camera, if you will. You don't have to come and be the chauffeur for his prom and be complicit in this delusion. You don't have to do that. It's even worse when a woman wears a man that's on the DM. That's worse. The church is allowed its teaching members how to wear a mask. The DL men dress like you. I've seen this, and look, we could have a 4-day conversation about the black church predominantly allowing this type of behavior. We could talk about that for a long time, for sure. This is insane. I've never seen anything like this, and it's a shame that we are always at the center of this madness. I gotta admit, and I'm sure there is. Shout out to you, Wesley Turner. Shout out to you, brother. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a white kid do this. I'm sure there are, but I don't think I've ever seen it. You know what? Shout out to Wesley. You know what, Wesley? I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never seen a white boy dressed up in a dress suit, And his dad, I've never seen that. I've never seen it. I'll be honest with you. I've never seen that. I'm sure somebody's going to prove me wrong. So don't deluge my email, dealworkc@gmail.com. But I've never actually seen that. So I wonder, why is that true? Why is that? Shout out, man. That's a good one, Turner. My man. Good to have you, man. I don't know if he qualifies. I don't know what the rules are, Ricardo. I don't know how the rules are. I don't know if this qualifies as it is a man dressed in a dress. Okay, I'm in between. Fathers are necessary. No argument there. But not just for football playing masculine sons. Every kid needs a good father, and I don't think every interaction should be a negative or a lecture. Oh, no argument at all. That being the case, however, K. Rich, by the way, thank you for the comment. Fathers are to guide their sons into what they're supposed to be. And I can't guide my son into being a woman. That doesn't make sense. Or pretending like he's a woman, or thinking that none of that. No, you guide them in proper direction, dealing with their own affections. And again, the world that we live in right now has hyper sexualized pretty much everything. So I feel sorry for this boy, because any kind of thoughts that he has gets hyper fast tracked into romance, into such of that nature. So even if he just say, oh, I like little Leroy, that's my best friend. Oh, you sure y'all want to get together? And I mean, our society has made it very difficult for somebody to even have just normal interactions with same gender, opposite gender, without it being something romantic. Would we rather that the dad not be around? No, the dad can still be around, but being participant in the role playing in the dress up, I think, doesn't help the problem. Every person has their own sexuality. Nothing the father does is going to change that. That's fine. The kid's attraction. Should he shun his son for life for being? I'm not going to be complicit in your delusion, though. Just because you have feelings, again, we would not give the same duck and cover if somebody said I was born an adulterer. We would not say the same thing, K. Rich, if I said I was born an adulterer. We wouldn't say it. I mean, nobody would do it. So therefore, your affections do need to come under compliance. We know that that's not appropriate. So I don't know why we give this, because of this lifestyle. We will bend over and do all of the lyrical gymnastics possible that we would not do in other scenarios. If somebody said I was born an adulterer, I was born to rob banks. I've been stealing since I was in kindergarten. We would not, none of those things would get a pass, but this does. And I don't understand why we do that. Give the gospel and don't play the game. The solution is simple. Son, your affections, just like as a married man, if I came on here and said, I have desire to go slip out over here to Martha's house, y'all would tell me the exact same thing, that that's inappropriate and that's wrong. And good people would tell me that I was in sin and that those sinful thoughts need to be brought under subjection to Christ. So why is that if I said I want to sneak out over to little Sally's house down the street, why does that need to come under submission to Christ, but this behavior doesn't? The exact same thing applies. If I was stealing, lying, I got to do my taxes, all that stuff. The exact same thing. It needs to fall under the rule and reign of Christ. That sinful behavior, that sinful thought needs to be brought to the gospel, to the foot of the cross. The exact same thing. Why do we not do that here? I don't understand. Oh, no. Hey, look, I try to be nice. Thank you so much, K. Rich. And I hope I kept it nice. I don't want to sound like I'm being difficult or harsh. Thank you so much for coming through, though. You know what? I'm really bothered by this now. I love Joe Hardy. Again, shout out to Wesley. Really made me think about this. I have never seen a Hispanic couple had to stand in their driveway and their son dressed up in a suit dress and the man getting out. I've never seen that. I want to see that because I don't know why it is that we keep doing this. Why do we do this? That is wild. I am so mad. I've never thought about that. Shout out to Wesley, man. I'm going to probably bring your name up about 10 more times, Wesley, because I'm really like, I've never seen that. It's always black people. I'm taken back. What's Jillian say? What's up, Jillian? How are you? She says, I could never shun my child for being blank, but I'm also not having his life and lifestyle by encouraging his dad to take part in the problem. That's it. The mom and the dad are probably going through hell. Okay. The dad is probably going through hell. Let's just tell the truth. I'm not minimizing what they're probably going through and how they're trying to cope with it. All I'm saying is I could not be out here. And again, at home, the dad could be like, look, man, I'm trying to work with you as best I can. I cannot be complicit, though, out here in public with your behavior and your lifestyle. So, I mean, I don't think you got to shun them and all that kind of stuff like that. You can disagree with people and be amicable. And I think that the dad probably tried that and the mom probably bopped him upside the head a lot about it. And that's why he's out here in a purple suit. I don't Christ Records 2016. I'm just wondering, like, why are we okay with this? But in any other situation, we would not be. I was born with a lead foot. I'm born to speed, man. I feel the need for speed. Officer, I was born a speeder. I was born fast. I'm going to jail, man. You're going to jail. I'm going to go to jail for that. There's no other way around it. And so it doesn't matter about, even if I say I have a proclivity to drive fast. Look, I live here in Atlanta. We drive fast. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we drive fast. And like, look, and so not only was I born, okay, here we go. Not only was I born with a lead foot, I live among a people with lead feet. Officer, society is predisposed me to speed. He gonna still say license and registration, please, and proof of insurance. Even if I try that, he gonna be like, my guy, license and insurance and proof of registration, sir. Thank you so much. And the whole society, but any other time, and everybody would agree, like, hey, you can't be speeding, Jason. No, you weren't born with a lead foot. You weren't born with a lead foot. It doesn't matter. You got to follow the rules. But any other time, we're good to accept that. Any other time, except here. This is the one place where we're like, all rules be darned, right? We just don't believe them. Oh, the things that he mentioned are illegal, but okay, not a problem. There are things that are legal that are biblically illegal. Let's use the example of munching up little people in their mother's womb. That's perfectly legal here. Perfectly legal. God is the final judge. And you see all the lyrical backflipping that we do about that all day long. We come up with every excuse under the sun. I got an achy big toe, munch up a little one. It's raining outside, vacuum them out the mother's womb. So now, yes, those are illegal things, and you are correct. However, if nobody catches me stealing, and my mom and dad know I'm stealing, and they're like, look, little Jason likes stealing. Wouldn't you also agree that if I was stealing and nobody caught me, but my mom and dad knew about it, that they would have some accountability and responsibility to turn me in? Okay, there we go. What's Wesley? Wesley, my new best friend. He says, ladies will cheer us on and then complain about not being able to find men when they want to have a family. You can't serve two masters. You can't have it both ways. Pun intended. I see what you did there. Wesley, I like you, Wesley. I don't even know you. I like you, and I like the way your name is spelled. Wesley, there we go. Wesley, y'all put Wesley in the chat. Wesley is our new is the new mentor for the channel, the mascot for the channel today. Y'all put Wesley in the chat. I was just throwing them out there. I wasn't trying to, and I'm definitely not condoning stealing or speeding. Don't tell nobody. Or speeding or any of that. I'm only putting them in there out there. But you are correct. One is illegal, one is not. But thank you so much, Bobo. I appreciate you for sure. I raised 3 sons, and they have been told forever. One, a man cannot know what it feels like to be a woman, and vice versa. 2, you were born a boy, and you will become a man, and that's how you present yourself. There you go. I can't tell fair. I can't just give you a hug. I mean, I can't say it any other way around it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all go on and put Wesley in the chat. Let Wesley know we appreciate him. Is this a mental health issue? Oh my gosh. That parents are struggling in the process while keeping their kids close. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Because before, and I've said this many, many times, 2020 broke a lot of people. If you just go back and even look at your own self, who were you in 2019, 2018? 2020, that whole 12 months, that thing did a lot. That thing did a number on a lot of people. A lot of people did not come out of 2020 unscathed. They didn't. And what I mean by that is there was mental strain, there was anxiety, there was fear, all these heightened. I can't imagine these people going days upon weeks upon months of just fearing somebody sneezing around them or somebody coughing around them and such of that nature. And then, of course, the grief of knowing like Big Mama died and I didn't get to go to her funeral and stuff like that. I mean, it broke people in ways that 2020 damaged people in ways I don't think we'll ever fully understand. And so what I mean by that, and coming out of that, we came into it was a different world. 2021 was a dawn of a new world almost. Just all the different things that were coming up. Again, a lot of the alphabet mafia exploded. Of course, working from home exploded. All these things were coming out of the 2020 pandemic. So I'm not saying this, I'm not diagnosing somebody. I am not a legal professional. I'm not a mental health professional. All I'm saying is it looks like a lot of things, a lot of people came out of 2020. They came out alive, but they came out different. They were broken. And that's just my assessment. So yes, to answer your question, Stacey Brown, I think the parents are trying to hold their kid together. I agree. And as I've mentioned, here on in the video, there's the comment from the mom, and I read it earlier. TikTok is insane. Every time I use the little mouse button, it jumps to like another video. Okay, I'm gonna stop. And you know what? I'll drop the link in here. Let me put the link in the chat. Then y'all can have it, and y'all can fight with TikTok because I don't understand. Me and TikTok are not friends. We're not friends. So anyway, I'm putting this in the chat, and you can kind of read what the mom says. And to me, I'm not 100% certain if this is her son, his son, both of their children. I mean, both their child. So I think those are some things that play a role in trying to keep this child close and such like that. Maybe they had some trauma in their lives or whatever like that. So. Christian allow this behavior. Hey, Vil607, do you mind if I'm gonna drop the link for you? Could you come on and explain that to me? Because I truly don't know where you got that from. I'm dropping the link in the chat. I'm gonna ask you, Vil607, make sure you have your camera on. We don't use profanity on the channel. And I'm going to just ask you to stay on topic. I would love for you to explain this. I'm going to put a star by it. I'm waiting for you to go ahead and hit that button and jump on. Glasker, my heart goes out to you. And I'm not minimizing anybody's. I had 2 grandparents pass away in 2020 and an aunt in 2020 as well. So I'm not minimizing anyone's struggle or anything like that. All I'm saying is because my wife couldn't go to her grandmother's funeral. And it was her favorite grandma and the one that helped raise her. So it was a big deal over here at Whitaker Park. So I'm aware that That did something to Lady Dear Woe Christian. That she didn't come out of that unscathed. You know what I'm saying? My mom's sister passed away. My mom wasn't able to go to her sister's funeral. She didn't come out of here unscathed. So I'm empathetic to people, but there are people who lost, and they didn't lose like a person passed away. There was just a lot of mental stress and strain. So that's what I was referring to. And I hope I wasn't minimizing your loss. And hopefully you understand what I'm saying. All right, let me see. Lots of good conversation back and forth. You are so right. 2020 caused a major, it caused some problems. It did some numbers on people. And that's the thing, Laura, like there's very little that you'll see an issue that the world says everybody is in compliance with this. So even in what I'm saying here, that, Dad, you need to stop that. You're going to have to stand against an entire flood, a tsunami, but you should stand against it. All right, go ahead and turn that camera on, Bill 607. Go and turn that camera on, my friend. Will you be turning your camera on? Okay, I'm going to give Bill 607 time to get that camera on. That'll be fun. Looking forward to hearing this. Where is the masculinity in the sun? I don't know. Cases and cams. I think that's a great question. And this is it. This is all I'm saying. Like, there was a lot of loss in 2020 that I think a lot of people came out of damaged. Let's say it like that. Oh, okay. I'm going to be gracious today because I do ask that everybody have their camera on. But let's go ahead. Let's get it on and let's figure it out, Mr. Bill 607. What's going on? Help me understand. How does Christian allow this behavior? Okay. All right. Let it be so. Let it be said. I had you up. All right. I don't know what happened. So I don't know if you want to comment back in, Bill, or whatever. Are you there?
Hello?
Is this Bill 607?
Hello?
Bill, what's happening?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. How you doing, sir?
Quite well, thank you. Now, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't, because I had someone earlier that had some things to say, and he didn't want to come up. But I want to make sure I was understanding this correctly. Are you saying that, when you say this statement here, Christian allow this behavior, what are you saying?
I'm just saying that, especially in the black community, Christianity, the churches, the black churches, they allow homosexuality. You can see it. There's a bunch of pastors that are homosexuals. Really, the black church is nothing but elder females and homosexuals. I mean, that's all it is, and that's why people are leaving at the droves, because they're finally waking up to it, and we're tired of it. Just like you guys say, you can't have two masters. You can't be a homosexual and teach the Bible. It don't work like that, and you cannot allow it. I mean, you can have, like, here go an example, right? I have a cousin who very well might be gay. I love him and all that stuff. And every time I see him, I tell him, you got to repent. You got to turn from that. And that's all I can do. But the Christian churches, they don't say that. They tell you, come how you are. Come how you are. That's what they say.
Okay. You know what, Bill 607, I apologize. I interpreted this comment as being something totally different.
Oh,
so
do you agree or do you disagree with what I'm saying?
No, I agree with what you're saying. Okay. I interpreted this a whole. I don't know. It was lost in translation.
Yes,
I was reading in tongues. I don't know, man. I missed that. No,
does it make sense now? What I'm saying?
Absolutely, and I will agree with you 100% that we. But do you agree with my new best friend Wesley that for some reason or another we have the black church seems to be doing this far more, or I'm sorry, let me say this. Black community does this far more than other people groups. Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that because you
Okay.
know, as black people, everybody looks at us a certain type of way.
For sure.
Like, you know, we sit here, we hear about cops killing, you know, unarmed black men all the time, but the same can be said about unarmed white men. We just don't hear about those stories. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot more going on in other churches than just our own community.
Okay.
We just don't hear about these things. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. You know what? Respect. I can respect that. I can respect that.
And I'm
the
same guy who told you a few months back, I was saying that Christianity was a white supremacist cult. That's me.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
and it is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No.
Yes, sir. But I ain't gonna get off subject. I was just letting you know that's me.
Okay. Then all right, we're gonna schedule a time because I want to hear about the white.
I got free time now, man. I was so backed up with work. I got a lot of free time now.
Then we will schedule a time. Shoot me an email, dearwokec@gmail.com.
Yes,
and
sir.
we can parse through that. And I would love to hear your thoughts concerning that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Keep
All
up the
right.
good work, sir.
You too, man. Bless you, man. Be good, friend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to Ville 607 came through. Thank you, man. And look, that's why, I do not assume that I understand every comment exactly as it's written. So I'm glad that I had him up. I didn't, go crazy, didn't act a fool, didn't misrepresent anybody because what he said was actually, I do agree with. I just didn't read it correctly. I guess I was just reading it wrong. Now, somebody asked, what are we talking about? So, Mike, we're talking about this video of this dad going to prom with his son, and his son is clearly in the alphabet lifestyle. And but I just wanted to talk about it and wanted to hear your thoughts, everybody's thoughts concerning it, because I do think that there's something about this. Now, we always want to say we need dads in the household, but I don't know if this is necessarily what we wanted. Because this dad, somebody said right here, his dad looks very uncomfortable. He looks very uncomfortable. The dad allegedly is Muslim. And okay, let me see if I can do this correctly. Because I read the comment, the mom who posted this. Let me see if I do this right. Y'all pray for me. Pray for your boy. Okay, here it is. All right. Let me bring this over. I'm trying to read it without, because when I zoom in, it like pops off. Okay. TikTok is stressful. I don't know how y'all put up with this thing. This platform is stressful. I don't want to follow it. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. So for those people that just came in. All right, it says, so let me explain this video first. My son has had a rocky relationship with his pops growing up because his pops is Muslim and does not condone his lifestyle. So wearing makeup, feminine hairstyles, nails, and all that has always been a problem. So on this day, he thought, she's talking about the son, that his pops would not even come outside to see him leave for prom because he has never saw him off to any of his dances in the past. Well, his pops said, I'm taking my son to the prom as a chauffeur and I'm going to match his outfit. So Romello, that's the son, was so surprised to see him get out of the truck. But when he saw how he was dressed, and it matched what he was wearing, he cried like a baby, and it was a very beautiful moment for him. My husband and the whole family, to have a supportive dad when you are in this lifestyle is rare and meant everything in the world for my son. Shout out to my husband. I love you. All right, so that was it. I think First Lady asked if they were religious. I appreciate the mom sharing this, because it does give a lot more context, which is very useful. However, I'm trying to understand, is this a blended family or whatnot? Because I just have more questions. Is it the mom and dad's son? Is it the mom's son? Is the dad adopted him? That kind of stuff like that. That's what I'm wondering, because I think that would help out a lot. And so, but that was it. He totally looks uncomfortable. Absolutely. As a father, I can't believe that he really condoned it. I don't think so either, but I do think that he's sadly in like a catch-22. You support him. You're watching people like Dwayne Wade, and his son. they're transitioning into such like that, and you feel like you got to be a part of it and you have to play the role in it. So I mean, I hate it for him because it feels like he's definitely, in my opinion, pressured into it because of that. But let's keep going. It's a learned behavior. I think it's a learned behavior. Bless his heart. As ethnicity identification, Latinos are more likely to identify as alphabet than white or black. Really? Black Americans 12% Latinos. What? Really? So Latinos twice as much. I have not done any research into that statistic. Thank you, Mike, for sharing that though. The word allowed. I believe in video that they allowed this behavior, but in this context, you can't stop the behavior, but you as an individual can choose not to support. That's all I'm saying. Like the boy would still have been out there dressed up because mom and the aunties, when you listen to it, all you hear is the women kikiing and yeah, queen and monumental and slay and all that stuff. So you hear that from them women. So he would have still been out there if the dad never came. And that would not have changed one iota if the dad didn't come. So I don't think the dad being there impeded any, and I don't think he really added to it. I'm sorry, he does add to it because he actually adds his support. Yes. I mean, I don't disagree, man. There's a lot of black. Why do we do that? Why do our women do that? And maybe we need to have a panel one day and talk about, because, somebody earlier said, I don't see the comment, but that women want to condone this behavior and then look for a man when it's time to get married and they don't see any. Why do y'all support this? Like, I would love to hear why women condone this type of behavior instead of saying that this is wrong. Why is that? I would love to know. And no shade. I was like, hey, why are women okay with this young man dressing up like this? Dare I say cosplaying as a woman? Why is that okay? What's up, Walter Waller? Thank you so much for stopping through. So, maybe one day we'll do that. Maybe on a Friday or something. We'll just like Friday Night Lights or something. And because I would love to hear a little bit more. Why is this acceptable? But in other situations, we don't accept it. As a woman, I have no idea why. As a woman, I have no idea why they condone it. And I never have. I don't get it. Because it seems it just seems counterproductive to what the male-female dynamic, to watch a man behave like a woman and do things that ultimately are not going to bring life or anything of that nature. Why is that okay? I don't get it. And for women to be like fighting for it, because, we could go into the women that are fighting for men to be in women's sports. And I mean, are full-throated arguing that men should be allowed to participate in women's sports, which seems crazy. But they're arguing about it. But then 10 seconds later, you're talking about you want equal pay and such like that in the workplace. Like, wait, are you getting equal pay because women deserve the same pay, but you're okay with a man playing in your sport? That makes no sense. Says, I have a gay cousin. I love him and tell him all the time I want him to stop, but he has a child and that's hard for him. Oh, he was as a child and that's hard for him. I totally understand. But see, that's something, again, I would say, now I'm not saying it is an easy fix, but that needs to be just like I got caught stealing when I was a child, or I didn't get caught stealing when I was a child. Now I'm 50 years old and I'm stealing. All of that needs to come right there to the foot of the cross. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get it. And I don't think somehow or another we've translated support as I have to condone your behavior. I don't know how we got there, Malik. I would love to actually hear Because I mean, if let's say it wasn't the alphabet lifestyle. Let's say it was just something else, uber immature. Every time this child didn't get his way, he pitched a temper tantrum and flailed like a 2-year-old. He was doing that when he was 5 and 7 and 12 and 22. He's still at work. He doesn't get his way. He flails on the ground and throws his arms and acts. We would not condone that. There's no way we would say that's okay. We'd make him a little pack and play. So when he's flailing himself, go get in your pack and play and flail yourself. Nobody would do that, but we do this. Like, why? I have all boys. Well, we know it because it's Tamika and the boys. I have all boys, and thank God I did not have to deal with anything like this. I disagree with it, but who am I to judge? I'm not even saying that you're judging. I'm not saying you're giving like a final judgment, but you can say that that's not appropriate and that affection needs to be brought under the submission of Christ. That's it. So now I got this thought of a grown adult getting put in a pack and play. But again, like, at what point do we say, hey, this is not appropriate? This is not what we're not doing this. It's not what we're doing. And I hate it because I feel like the dad got mollywopped into behaving, into agreeing to this when he probably would not have. Under normal circumstances, the dad would probably be like, nah, I'm not doing this. But somehow or another, he got mollywopped into it. And that's sad. So just in case y'all didn't see it, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Oh, you know what? Y'all need to hear. I'm sorry. I should. Hold on. We're gonna back it up because you need to hear all the kiki.
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Who is his son, though?
Don't mess up that makeup, Jabba. Look down, let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let him fall on the floor. Let him fall. Let him fall on the floor. Oh, poor baby. Oh.
I knew my son was gonna cry. Is nasty work.
Look up. Oh, Mellow's crying. He didn't know his pops was gonna be there. He's crying. This is monumental.
Monumental is nasty work.
Come on, I need pictures. Excuse me. Ready? Good. I love the candidness. Let it know. Let it. Let's go. Okay. Any emotions?
And
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the
thing
prom.
is loud in my ears. Somebody said something right here, and I'm sorry. I've always thought. Thank you so much, Indian Summer. I've always thought that this drag thing, men dressing up as women, I always thought that they were caricatures of women. Because I have a house of 3 women. I have 4 sister-in-laws, plus a mother-in-law, plus my own mom. And I've never seen, and my sister-in-laws are fabulous. So, you know, they got the bundles and the lashes, and they're beautiful women. But I've never seen them behave like these people do. I always thought it was like a caricature. I felt like they were parodying women. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, I got the weaves and the lashes and all that kind of stuff. I got you. But even my daughters and their children, they don't behave like this. They don't behave like that. And I always felt like it was, in my opinion, they were caricature and being a parody of women, actually mocking women. In my opinion, I always thought that behavior was just mocking of women. Just again, I'm not saying that they're not real women that behave like that, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it like that. And it's always this over the topness of them. I'm sure this started out when he was young. Mother and dad should have redirected him. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That is it. Why though? Okay, rich black women will support black men like no other. I think they put them in a son husband. I can't even argue with what you're saying. I can't even argue. The dad is super uncomfortable. The dad is so uncomfortable. I dare say that it's better off to just say, nah, I'm not going to participate in that, than to even be out there looking 80 shades uncomfortable. DWC, you hit the nail on the head. They do not believe in the cross. The husband is a Muslim, right? And the mother does not say if she's a Muslim or not. I don't get, and I just literally was scanning through before I started the live stream. I don't know either, but there's definitely no direction. They have no correction for this. I feel bad for the father, Philip Robert says. I'm sure the mother had a huge role in this situation. I tell my daughters all the time, they are blessed that their mother is alive. Because I'm saying, I don't know what I would do. All this stuff, all that girly stuff. I said, I would have to go get married like before my wife got put in the ground. I said, because I don't know what to do with y'all. I don't know. Call your sister, call your aunties. I don't know. I'm telling you, and I promise you, and my wife will tell you in a hot minute. If I had boys, she would have been like, "Go to your dad. Go to your dad." She was ready for that because I do it. I do it to her. Go to your mama. No, I don't want to hear about that. Take it to your mom. And so my wife knows. My wife knows if we had boys, look, all that peaceful time I have in here. No, because they'd have been in here tearing it up. It'd have been boys. So we understand that. But there's no way if I had boys would I have allowed my wife to dress my son up in a dress. And I don't even like when my kids look too grungy. My girls, I don't like when they look too grungy. You need to go change that. Go iron that. I can't tell you how many times chief executive second born gets told that she needs to go iron something. Go iron that. That iron is not on punishment. Go up there and get that iron and put it on them clothes. Right. I feel like it's mocking women. I'm sorry. Look, I'm not like a super, emotional guy, but looking at what passes for women in the drag area, I'm like, you're making fun of women. Like, I don't know how y'all feel comfortable with that stuff because it looks like they're mocking y'all. It just, it's gross to me. This is a very good point. It's a man's idea of how they think women act and behave. I don't know where Wesley came from. Wesley, bro, you might have to come on up here. We might have to have like a introduce Wesley day because Wesley's crushing it today. That's probably it. That's probably it. They just think this is how women behave. But I would never have. Again, like I said, I got 4 sister-in-laws. I got 3 women in my house, a mother-in-law, my own mom, my own sister. And I've never seen a woman behave like this boy's behaving. And not in my own family. The way he's behaving right here, I ain't seen that. It makes no sense. The only time I see this behavior is when a man is pretending like he's a woman. That's the only time I see that. All this fanning and all that stuff, I had never seen that before. Dad need to put his whole foot down. And maybe he need to put his foot up somewhere too. I'm just saying. Might need to be a little football punt, in my opinion. Yeah, like all of that alphabet men. Like it just seems like they're parroting. They're making fun of. I can't get over it. I just feel like they're making fun of y'all. Unfortunately, First Lady Brown says, because of his decision and reaction, the family will. Right. The family has already been emboldened. The fact that the day you went and bought a Prince dress suitical, whatever this thing is, the day you bought that, it was already a wrap. I mean, you complied with this. I'm sure if we look at this young man's TikTok or Instagram, he's probably been doing this for years. Okay. And so each decision is emboldening his behavior. Nelson said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. This is a big old no as a follower of Jesus Christ. I'm right there, Bonnie. I'm right there with you. Have a great day, Tamika. Thank you so much for following through. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started. They love leaving clothes in the dryer until they're hard. Like, get them things out of there before the dryer stops. You should be right there in that laundry room, 2 minutes before the dryer stops. You already opening it up, getting them things out, laying them flat and hanging them up, iron them, hitting them with a little bit of iron, a little bit of hot air, something. Nope. They leave them in there. There's something in the dryer right now, probably since yesterday. And then they're going to put it in a basket. All right, what is that? Small testimony. My son, who was 19, dated a transgender, and then when his family found out, we prayed and fasted for him. In 3 months, he decided to leave the relationship. Okay, praise God. Oh, that's got to be terrible. That's got to be really sad to find that out. Thank you so much, Tiffany from Mayor. Yeah, the dad doesn't have the tools, and that's actually where I started in the beginning. Like, you don't have the tools to, fathers, don't exacerbate your children, but bring them up in the fear and admonition of the Lord. He doesn't have the tools to do that. So I agree with you 100%. It's going to get much worse. Now all these athletes are dressing like, yo, we ain't going to even talk about that. Yeah, I mean, and somebody was actually hypothesizing the WNBA, because the WNBA has never been a viable league for 28 years, almost 30 years. The WNBA has never turned a profit. And if they go on strike, as Angel Reese was pontificating that they were going to strike, somebody said, well, why don't they just say, fine, they go on strike and we open up a transgender WNBA league, or a transgender league, which is basically men dressing as women. It would be, I disagree with it, but my point in saying that is women are going to end up ruining, because they allow certain behaviors, they're going to end up opening doors that ruin women's sports and women in certain spaces. So that was just something that it was wild, but I hope that it doesn't happen. I haven't watched professional basketball in some time, but I hope it doesn't. I hope they find a way to make WNBA basketball a viable sport, and I think really truly, if they just lowered the rim, that would change it overnight. If they would just lower the rim, but they refuse to let them low. The women don't want them to lower the rim because they feel like they should be able to perform at the same level as men. You're not men. We don't want you to be men. We want you to be women that play this sport. Lower the rim. I mean, women's, just about every other net sport game, except tennis. I don't think pickleball maybe, but like volleyball, they have a lower net. Like, why not just lower the net? Just a little. I think it's like 2 inches, I think is what the argument is. And I think that would change the whole thing altogether. I don't know how I got on there, Indian Summer. You somehow or another, you got me way off track. Marshall the Plug is in the building. Apparently the father is a Muslim and didn't really approve of his son putting on makeup when he was younger, but decided to match his attire and drive him to the prom. Yeah, we just read it, Marshall, because I realized the mom has like a little caption right here, and that helped add a lot of context to it. But that doesn't change. That didn't fix one thing. In my opinion, it actually ruined any moral high ground the dad actually had. Yeah, I'm Wesley coming up in here bringing that noise today. I love it. Thank you, Lady Knight, for the $3 super sticker. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Absolute Prince outfit. Not agreeing with the mix of the suit with the dress. That was such a weird ensemble. But hey, to his son's defense, we allowed Prince to behave like that back in the 80s and 90s. So, I mean, Prince was doing some crazy stuff back then too. So, I don't think he ever wore it. He probably did. We let Prince get away with a lot of stuff. I don't know why we did. The father looks like he's been castrated. Don't crack one smile. Because the dad, I don't think the dad really wanted to do this. Truly, I believe the mom strongly encouraged him, shall we say, to participate in this. And so he's just like, look, I'm going to go ahead and play this role so I can have that happy wife, happy life scenario. I think he just is trying to keep peace in his home. I think that's what he's doing. It's definitely giving Prince, but at least Prince was pretty. That's fair enough. I can no argument there. No lie detected. In the description, it says when he was a little boy, he was put. Where? I didn't see that. Is it the okay? You know what? She has another maybe. Okay, because there's this. Because it'll end up getting me a what's called. Oh. No, it's Marshall, I didn't see that. In here, she says, my son ate down yesterday for his senior prom with his custom designed suit dress made by Kali Couture. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about the boy dressing up. I'm sure he was. I'm sure he didn't just start doing this today. It's not the first time he rolled out here like that. Dwayne Wade be dressing up like that. Yeah. I saw Dwayne Wade a couple of days ago with nail polish on and every finger on his. Yep. He sure was carrying a purse. Yep. Talking about his purse. And he called it a merce. Like, you gotta be kidding me. I've heard many people argue. Basically, they feel like they can compete with men. Indian Summer. How did I even get on this topic of women basketball? But anyway, they feel like they should be able to compete with men. And I forgot what the men's rim is. Whatever the men's rim is, they want to compete on that level. And they feel like if you lower it, even though it's going to change the trajectory of the game, I think it will definitely speed it up. It'll make it more exciting, more dunks, because that's what Shaquille O'Neal said. Once women are dunking in a lower that rim, they're dunking, it's going to be game on. And I heard Shaquille O'Neal say that many, many years ago. So even before the whole Angel Reese conversation. So they've been saying this for a long time and they just refuse to do it. I don't know why. It's all good. I have no idea how I started talking about that. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out what was I thinking. I may be late to it. It may be too late to adjust the rim height as to throw off the muscle memory. That might be true. But if okay, in college, is the rim the same height as the men's? Okay, let me say a statement again. In college, men's and women's basketball rim height, is it the same? Because, I mean, most of them are coming out of college. So we're not talking about people coming out of like high school and whatnot. So that's very interesting. What? They did a nail paint? See, Dwayne Wade is playing into the shenanigans. But back to the question. Okay. Back to the question. Have you ever seen a white professional basketball player, professional football player on a talk show talking about putting paint on his nails, carrying a merce, and all that kind of stuff like Dwayne Wade did? I've never seen it. It's always the highly melanated play this game. Why? Somebody's going to show Marshall. Here we go. Marshall. Because Marshall is the plug. All right, Marshall. I need you to find me a video of a white boy. Hold on.
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Okay. I need you to find me a white boy doing this. Marshall. Go. Why is it doing this? Stop it.
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Okay, so find me a white boy and dad doing this. This is driving me crazy. I can't take it. I'm going to go crazy. So Marshall, find me that. Find me a white boy dressed up in a dress suit thing, going to prom, and his white dad getting out the car, something of that nature. I want to see it. And if you find a Puerto Rican or Hispanic, bonus points. Because the argument is that why do we keep doing this? Why is this something that black people do and support? So that's what I need you to do. Marshall, help me out. Prince brought androgynous into the society. He made it mainstream. That is a very true statement. That is very true. No argument from me at all. Yeah, like you can still, again, we're creating a society where if you don't fully immerse yourself in my bad decisions, then you hate me. No, there are other options. You can still say, hey, I support you and I want the best for you, but I cannot participate in your delusion. I just can't do that. And again, like we just wouldn't do that. Okay, you got on the topic because you said WNBA hasn't turned a profit, so they're thinking about going. That is what I was thinking. Thank you. You're going to be my scribe because I'm over here just freestyling it. Thank you so much, Lady Brown. I'm going to find that article about them thinking about going trans. I'll find it. Yeah, but there are some very, very tall WNBA women. Absolutely. And look, I'm 5'6", so look, I'm not tall at all. They are tall. However, in basketball, when you're dunking is still, for WNBA, is still a rarity. You might get one or two, maybe. You're not getting a lot of women dunking on a regular basis, and definitely not doing it demonstratively. So the argument is, if you just lower that rim, you're gonna get more women able to dunk. You're gonna get more action. You're gonna get more highlight reels, all that kind of stuff like that. So that was the argument. But somebody said, hey, it might change muscle memory because everybody's used to shooting on that size rim. I think they might be right. There's something there. Oh, a merce is a man purse. That's what Dwayne Wade called it, a merce. I never saw it. I don't remember. Prince was doing some stuff. I'm a Prince fan. Okay, don't tell nobody. I'm a Prince fan. I don't want to say that I've never seen him, but because I'm thinking, like, I remember Bat Dance when he did the Joker Batman. I don't want to say I've never seen him in a dress because I'm sure I'm going to end up eating my words, so I don't want to say that. Oh, they're the same height. Okay. WNBA is 10. Oh, everybody's rims are 10. Okay. So even women's NCAA is 10 feet. Okay, cool. Okay, maybe that's why they don't want to change it then, because everybody's rim is 10 feet. So that makes sense. Because I thought they were talking about like lowering it to like 9.5 or something. And that would have been it. Marshall, I believe in you, man. Let me tell you, nobody believes in you more than me. That's what they're doing. They're imitating Billy Porter. Yeah, I can see that. But I feel like Billy Porter is a parody of women too. His behavior is not. No, women don't behave like that. I'm just saying like that. I'm not saying I'm a connoisseur of women. Women don't behave like that. Billy Porter, that's Billy Porter woman. Sorry. I'm not sure how boys come to start playing dress up in women's clothes and makeup. Now, granted, I haven't even done much makeup, but I'll be a single mom. But I'm a single mom, and I just will not be tolerated in my house. I think well, again, there's a lot of reasons why, societal factors that play a role into it. I don't believe I ever dressed up me and my brother might have had, your atypical police officer, firefighter costumes when we were kids. and dress them in those. But I think that's about the extent of it. We was outside playing, tearing up stuff. So you got that, but then also you got the hyper romanticized society that we're in, that pretty much everything has to lead to intimacy. So they're always driving toward this angle. So you're always trying to keep it like the kid just wants to put on an apron. Okay. So he wants to be a chef. Well, they're going to immediately start trying to shove it into another direction. Oh, you're going to be the mom of the house, that kind of dumb stuff. So we're trying to keep it on the road, and it is going off the cliff into Insaneville. So, but shout out to you. Thank you so much, Chauffeur. A lot of blacks are in support of including everyone. And so they also participate. A lot of the blacks are in support of yes. And when you watch this video, I dropped the link in the chat earlier. All you hear is moms and aunties and them all kikiing about this. And instead of saying, this is not appropriate, this is not right, they're over just co-signing it. Really? Okay. Well, I apologize then. I don't know how Princeton got into the chat either. But Prince was pretty manly to be that pretty. He didn't play around. I believe he was a Jehovah's Witness. He was a Jehovah's Witness, yes. Shout out to Prince. Interesting facts. In 26 total, 33 dunks. Yeah, there was 33 dunks probably in the last NBA game. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they lowered that rim, Mike, they probably would be going off the rails. But, you know, I got the muscle memory thing. You kind of got me on that one. I'm a woman. I don't even carry a purse, a merce, or none of that. I actually think they work harder with the makeup, right, and accessories than real women do. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, my wife doesn't look like that. My daughters don't look like that. Even going to prom, President Firstborn will not look like that. I mean, you just doing the most. She went to prom last year and the year before that, and never, and none of her friends look like that. Like, what are we doing? What are y'all doing? Why y'all behaving like that? So I just thought it was interesting. And again, I just wanted to talk about this video. You know, shout out to Marshall for sending it to me, and definitely praying for this dad and his family. Because I mean, it just seemed like you are lost in the culture, and I don't know how you get out of it. Let me see. I'm just looking real quick. Now, the mom says that, is this the mom? Yeah, the mom. I'm looking at her TikTok page real quick. I'm starting to think that this is not her son, though. Just looking at it, I don't think this is her son. I think this is the dad's son, and he just lived with them because she says she's a dog mom. And I don't see a good picture of the son, but I dropped the link in there. Y'all find it. Somebody's going to find it and send it to me, I'm sure. But yeah, good people. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. Thank you very much for V for coming up early. Thank you, Wesley, for the insight and wisdom. Thank you, Lady Knight, for the very kind super sticker. Make sure y'all check out Mayor Monday. We looked at Mayor Cantrell down there in New Orleans. And if you have any mayors that you really would like me to look at, let me know. Shoot me an email. I'd love to talk about them, even if they're doing something good. Now, there's some good mayors that I think would always want to showcase them as well. We've been talking about mayors that have been misbehaving, of course, but we don't have to only talk about that. So, yeah, definitely check out my Mayoral Monday playlist on the channel. And let me know what you think about it. I appreciate y'all jumping in with me today. This was just a quick live stream. Just wanted to talk about this topic and want to hear your thoughts. So I appreciate y'all so much. Let's get ready to do this again real soon. And until then, everybody, really? I was about to leave. Okay, well, you know, I'm coming up. I'll be in Lansing the day after Election Day. So shoot me an email. Maybe we'll meet up. Add you to the meetup. I'm doing a meetup on Thursday, April 3rd. So hit your boy up. All right, everybody, let me get out of here and get some work done. Everybody have a fantastic day. I'll see you real soon. Grace and peace.